Mr. Bernie.
Uh-huh.
We're ready for you now.
Oh, thanks. Greetings, everybody. This is Ben Bernie standing before you in a pair of tight shoes with a violin in one hand and a club in the other. After all, a man must have some protection. I've been asked to play a violin solo at you, but I want to warn you that the Brunswick Company is not responsible for my playing or any other act beyond their control. You know, every musician must have a background, and I feel that you should know mine. I studied the violin since I was a lad of 7, but as my parents were too poor to buy me a fiddle, I used to practice on a bass drum. You won't believe this until you hear me play. As time went on and my mother got steady work, Dad decided that I should have a chance. So I studied for 2 years with Chrysler and then had a year under Buick. It was while tightening the wheels of that car that I got my first break. Ouch. That noise you are hearing, folks, is not me. That's 2 talking pictures having an argument. Well, to go on with the old solo, let me have an A, will you, Al? Thanks, that's near enough. I would like to have you meet my accompanist. He's the Russian pianist. His name is always off-key, but we call him Al for short. You might like Al. Some people like Olive. Good old Olive. You know, Al comes from a musical family, too. His father, for 20 years, was the cornet soloist with an orchestra, but he was finally pardoned at the request of the other prisoners. For my first solo, folks, I have chosen the good old humoresca, the humoresque, the humoresca. Well, anyhow, this is as fine a number as has ever been mispronounced on a record. Incidentally, this is a $4 number, which I shall play for the regular price of 75 cents. If you like the number, send me the difference. And Al, I have only one request to make before we play. Let's both finish together. At least, let's finish on the same side of the record. Now the chorus, Al. Thanks, Al. For the benefit of those who just entered the room, this is Ben Bernie, the Old Maestro, speaking. Where was I in part 1? Oh, yes. I was telling you all about Al, my accompanist. You know, Al has really had a great musical education. His lessons cost him $4 apiece, including stamps. But Al is now in the advanced class. He gets his lessons by airmail. He's a college man, too, a 1928 man, but he left in 1924 by request. He plays football, too. A lot of you folks probably remember the Yale football team of 1924, the year they beat Harvard. Al went to Columbia that year. And Al plays every instrument, including a stethoscope, which he plays by ear. In fact, Al is the only man I know who really can play the sextet from Lucia with his left hand and shave himself with the right. The slight quiver in his playing is not tempo. It comes from years of playing on good old ferry boats. I must also mention the fact that Al worked for John Philip Sousa for 3 years, until Mr. Sousa decided to drive his own car. In addition to his other talent, Al repairs motorcycles and is a darn good notary public. I met Al's uncle the other day. He's a lovely fellow, a Scotchman, but he was born in this country to save transportation. Al really doesn't have to work. He owns a little lunchroom called the Radio Lunch. You order everything on the bill of fare by song titles. For instance, Muddy Waters, that's a cup of coffee. Pal of My Cradle Days, that's a bottle of milk. Hot Lips, that's a bowl of chili. Where, oh, where is my little dog tonight? That's a good old Frankfurter sandwich. You know you belong to somebody else? That's a plate of hash. And I'll be with you always. That's an order of Limburger cheese. For my fiddle solo, I'm going to play a number written by my girlfriend, and in fact dedicated to me. She's a lovely girl. The title of this number is I'd Love to Be the Widow of a Guy Like You. This is really a beautiful melody founded on a theme by Tchaikovsky, the great Russian baseball player. I hope you liked it.